session. So just to kind of clarify, within our network, we do have some issues with Internet Explorer. So try to use Firefox when editing your website. It's just recommended. It's a better browser for that works better with school wires. Outside of our network, so if, let's just say that you're working from home, Internet Explorer, it's fine. It's just in here that there's some issues. So for instance, whereas Firefox will display all of the drop-down menus, with Internet Explorer, somehow it doesn't. And this only happens internally. So it's something that IT needs to work on. So to begin our session, so make sure that you open a Firefox browser, and then we were going to go ahead and log in. So duvalschools.org slash admin. And it should bring you back to this page. So we're going to go ahead and log in. Okay, and then sometimes this might happen where it just sends you straight to your site manager. Otherwise, if I were to refresh this page, otherwise usually site manager's at the bottom. But if not, this is fine too. That's just the browser. Sometimes it just means that you need to clear out your browser's cache. Okay, so starting here, I'm just going to go through a quick review. We will pick another school today. So just to be on the safe side. Oh, okay. Let's just do this. Okay. So today I'm gonna give you a demo of some of the schools that we will look through today. Just some of the ones that I've run into. So for instance, let's click on La Villa. Okay, so notice how they have their upcoming events, your welcome message, shortcuts, and then announcements. Or quick links. Some of you probably ran into a new feature, which was an advertisement on your left-hand side. That will just be, again, if you received my email, we're just trying to test that for now. It won't always be there, but for now, and you probably will notice that you can only see it once a day. So it's just this test that we're running, but just in case you were wondering what that was, the advertisement. So we're going to go through a quick overview of everything for those of you that are new. So remember, these are called channels. Channels cannot be changed or deleted or even added, but you can add as many sections as you want under each and one of them. So another thing is on your home page, and it might run a little bit slow sometimes. Okay, let's try that again. So on the home page, you should see the same apps that we've always had. However, on our district website, we might have more apps than on your school websites. And today I will show you a few that are different. So let's go again and select La Villa. That might speed up the process. Okay. There we go. So La Villa, homepage. So notice how you have rotating images, the shortcuts, district links, announcements, welcome feature video, and upcoming events. Make sure that you always keep these current. So like within a month, I know that there's at least 3 to 4 events that happen in each school. So make sure that you keep that current. So let's go ahead and start with our page today that we will be working on. So for today, I'm going to work on my own section. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on communications, and we'll start working with one here, just so that we don't create a test page anywhere else. So today I'm just going to show you a few apps, how to change the layout of your page, and we'll also review the headlines and news apps, I'll show you what the web forms are used for. And we'll also go a little bit more thorough with the video because I know that some of you tried it on your own and it might not look the way that you expected it to look. If you are having any issues with the video, please feel free to send me an email. Otherwise, you could just send me the link to it and I can make sure that it's posted on your website. So let's go ahead and start. So for instance, I'm going to create a new page. There are different page types, and I know we've gone through them, but the main ones that you want to focus on are the file library page, the flex page, and the link library page. So today we're going to do we're going to start with a flex page, but that's going to, then we'll add more apps to that page. So I'm going to go ahead and click there and just call mine test 2. Go ahead and save it. So I have my test 2 page. So normally to start adding text, some of you are familiar, all you do is you click on the page and then you can just start adding your text. So that is one way of doing it. However, I'm going to go back here. What if you want to have a page that also displays a list of PDFs and then maybe also displays quick links? That is how we change the layout of the page. So to do that, sorry about that. To do that, we will go to Actions and then Edit Page. And it brings us to this section. Oh, sorry about that, guys. And today's a little bit slower than usual, but okay, let's test this again. So if we go to Site Manager and we go to the school, departments, communications, and my test 2 page. So we're back here. All we have to do is we click on Edit Page, and this is again to change the layout of your page. Okay, which brings us here. To begin, you would click on Manage Apps and Layout, and then it'll bring us to our next section. Now, so I mentioned that I did want to add maybe a list of PDF files to my page. So all I have to do then is to click on Add App. And then I will find the, well, first we'll start with the file library app. That's the one for PDFs. So I'm just going to call mine Documents. And now, normally you would think you would click on I'm done, but again, I'm going to show you how to change the layout. So you would click on Change Layout. There's several options here. I usually stick to, the right sidebar, or you can even just leave it as is if you're just going to have text and some documents. Or you could just do a 3-column. So maybe I want the 3-column because I'm actually going to add something to it. So I'm going to go ahead and select, actually this one here, Apply. So maybe my Flex editor is on the right. So maybe my documents are at the bottom. The Flex editor app is here. And then later on, you'll see what else I'll add on these 3 columns. So let's just try this here. Okay, and then I'm going to click on I'm done. So now it lets you add, now it lets you start adding the contents, and we're going to go ahead and do that. So we would click on Documents, New File, and remember, this is probably the best option if you're trying to link to whether it's PDFs, a newsletter, or something for that matter, because if you're trying to link it within the text, sometimes those PDFs might change, and there's just more steps to it than if you just drop the file library app and then start uploading documents. So the title will be test document. Then we will click on select file. And all you need is just a PDF. So we have a PDF. Then you'd click on save. And then you can add as many as you want. So let's go ahead and add a new one. So it's 3. Okay, and then this one. The other thing that I wanted to show you is once you add all of the documents for your page, you can click on sort files, and then you can just drag and drop them, or you can sort them alphabetically, and then you would click on save. So you have your documents now, and we have some text. To see the page, if I were to click on communications, it's going to take me to the main page of communications. But if you just want to see what yours looks like specifically, you can click on the name of the page and it says return to my page. And then you can click on view website. This kind of gives you a preview of what your page looks like. Notice how it's all here towards my left because I'm trying to have different columns. So on that note, I'm going to go back here. And maybe I want to add another column. So let's just say now I'm going to add a link library app. So link library app is very similar than the file library app. And again, this doesn't have to be a link library. Maybe you just decide to do 3 document file libraries. Maybe you want 3 columns that list documents, 1 in each. We have samples of that, and I will show you what that looks like. So I'll just call this one links. And maybe I want that one here. So once we click on links, we can get started. Oh, nope, missed the www.google.com. Save, and then maybe another test. Okay, and then the same, you can sort the links. So to see what our page looks like, remember I clicked on the name of the page and then I clicked on view website. And right now we have, it's taking up the space for that middle column, which I'll show you what we'll do with that one next. But technically this is just the layout of your page. You can change it at any time. The more text you add on your Flex editor, the more that these 2 apps will just drop down, further down on your page. So this is just an example. Also, what I wanted to show you is if we go back, so before I add another app, I wanted to show you another thing. If I were to go back and create, let's just say my new page is just going to be, maybe I want to have a video on this page and we will come back to it. So I'm going to do my test video. Okay, so what happens if you just want to group 2 pages together? I know some of you already know, but for those of you that are new, all you have to do, and this also helps if you're trying to organize your pages, but if you just want to drop one into the other, you drag and then you drop it inside the box. Otherwise, if once you see this green line, it just means that you've organized them. But again, if you want to drag and drop it into the other one, all you have to do is drop it into the box. And then you click on save. So we will come back to our test 2 video page. But I just wanted to show you how you can organize your pages here. Now, moving on to the page, the video one, you want to make sure that you use the correct app. Otherwise, I know some of you have seen are trying to do it within a Flex Editor app, and it does not look the same. What you want to do instead is you'd go, again, you return to your main page, manage apps and layout, add app. This is the one that you want to use, Embed Code app. Embed Code app works great for videos and other features that would require an embed code. So we're just going to call this one video. And then you can always delete the ones that you don't want. So maybe I just want to keep that video embed code. So now moving on, and again, you don't always have to change the layout of your page. So I'm just going to leave mine as it is. So once you click on I'm done, it brings you back here. So this is where you would copy and paste your embed code, which I will show you exactly how to do that today. Now you have to be careful because you require specific measurements for the width and height of the video. In your case, because most likely you'll be doing it on the front page. So notice how, yes, we have 3 columns on the front page. However, they all have a specific width. And I will show you how to make it to look exactly like this video here that's displayed on La Villa. But you also have to make sure that you only have one. I've seen some schools that have multiple ones and it just does not look good. So make sure that you have one and make sure that it's the correct size. And if you're not sure on how to do it, please feel free to send me an email. So today we're going to do an embed code video. To do that, the first step is, and I already have mine, but the first step is to upload your videos onto YouTube. So yes, you'll probably have to create a YouTube channel if you don't already have one, or maybe your school has one. That is just going to have school-related videos. This is exactly what I did here. For instance, my channel only has Oliver Web Wednesdays or any other web-related video. So once you click on your video, so I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to pause that. Once you've selected your video, and make sure that you don't set it to be private because it won't let us do this part. Then you would click on share, and then you want the embed code. So you would click on embed, and this is the code that you need. So you would copy, so Control-C, and do not do enable privacy mode because sometimes it won't work. If you do this, then you might not be able to see it on the website. However, notice that it has different measurements. So we will change those because this would be huge on our website. So we'll go back to our original page. Oh, I think my screen just froze again. Okay, here we go. So we'll go back here, and then you'll paste that code in there. Now remember, I mentioned that the measurements have to be the specific width, otherwise it does not look good, and it'll take over the other columns. So you want to make sure that this first one is 275 by 200. So 275 width by 200 height. And once you're done, you can go ahead and click on save. So let's see what that looks like. View website. And now you have an embed code video. Again, I did mine within a page and not on the front page because I do not want to change any of your videos. But this is most likely to be used on your front page. Maybe if there's another page that you would like to use videos, that's how you would do it. If there's several videos, or maybe on YouTube you did a slideshow video, then remember you can change the layout, you can have different columns, but this is pretty much how you do, how you embed a video. If you're unsure about the process, please make sure that you send me an email. All you have to do is you just send me the link to your video. So right here, like once you upload a video onto YouTube, copy and paste this URL and then just send it to me if you get stuck in some part of the process. So now we have our test video. And then I also showed you how our regular page looks like with 3 different columns. Potentially, if you really want, what you can do is if you go to your other page and then we click on test 2 page, manage apps and layout, add app, just to show you what this would look like. Test. I'm going to just drop it right there. And remember, I'm just going to do 200 or maybe 250 by 200. Let's see what that looks like. Oh. So notice how this is a perfect example. If the size or the width it's too big, it will take over the other column. So you need to make sure that one, it's on your front page, and if you really want to put it on a different page, you need to make sure that the size is correct. Otherwise, this will happen. But that's pretty much how you would change the layout and add an embed code video. When you're done, which I am with this page, maybe I just want to go ahead and delete it. Remember, you can also make a page inactive. All you have to do is you click on inactive, and then to activate it, you just click on active again. So that's how that part works. So we've gone through a changing the layout of the video. Oh, and we have another one here. Changing the layout of the video. I showed you what the file library does, as well as the link library. And mainly we went through the embed code app, which is the video app that I've been meaning to show you. The other thing that I wanted to show you is, so if we go back here to our front page, and let's do this here. So on the front page of the district, notice how we have the latest news towards the left of the page. And then when you click on view all news, it takes you to this page where you have them still listed here, and you have them, the recent ones. However, these seem to be archived in different months. This is called the Headline and News app. It's a very useful app if you're trying to archive maybe newsletters or I don't know, a different type of document, but mainly it's just used for newsletters or announcements or alerts. You don't want to maybe necessarily have it listed on the front page, but maybe within your school there's a department page, or there's another page that would use this. So all you have to do is literally create a page. So we're going to go ahead and just going to show you what it would look like. So if I go to departments, communications, new page. If I just do my flex page, okay. If I go to edit page, remember if we're trying to change the layout, add app, headlines and features app. That's the one that you would like to use. So I'm just gonna add it, and as soon as I start adding those, so let me just click on I'm done, it'll tell you to start adding them. So the end result looks similar to this. And again, this might be more of a process that you'd have to contact me so that I can guide you through it, because we would need to have real events. But the end result would look like this, and it'll archive them by month. Works very similar to your announcements, where you give it an expiration date so that you give it a beginning date and an expiration date so that it knows which month it belongs to. So that's pretty much the app for headlines and features. And again, if you want to start using this app, make sure you contact me and I can assist you with that whole process. Another thing that I wanted to show you is our forms. So for our forms, I'm going to go back to our main district. These are a little bit, they have a very a great use for them. However, it takes a few more steps to create a form. So my suggestion would be to create your form first, the way you want it to look like, whether it's on Word or if you're trying to use a fillable PDF, whatever it is, create those fields that you require. Once you have your fields, okay. So for instance, web services request form. Let's view this one. Notice how you can give it as many fields as you want. This one was a little bit short, but my recommendation is to create it first on Word. And once you create it on Word, then we can start creating it on the website. I will probably have a specific video on just how to do web forms, because again, it's more of a lengthy process. But you can also contact me, send me an email, and we can work with one together. However, the one requirement is that you have this already created somewhere else, whether it's in Word or a PDF. You can always change them, but you just need to have somewhere to start. So Once you create all of your fields and that person clicks on done or submit, because you can change that, then that goes to an email address. So sometimes maybe you want them to go to your email address, or sometimes maybe there was a specific email address created for all these web forms. They're very useful. As you can see, you could use it as a web form. We had one for speakers bureaus, and we have also for our DJ request form. So it could be anything, and it could replace all of those maybe current forms that you have published on your website that parents have to maybe print and they have to fill out and they have to bring it to the school. Maybe they just fill it out online, and then maybe like whether it's a secretary or an admin receives all of those submissions. So again, this is a very cool tool, and if you are interested in knowing how to use web forms, please send me an email. But I will also create a video just specifically on how to do web forms. So that's one of the things that I wanted to show you. Another thing, and again, this might be more of by requests. Notice how we also have an app. Some of you might probably saw it already. It's called the Minibase. The Minibase has many different uses. So for instance, this is a Minibase as well as this one. All it does is you import different fields. You can do it manually, or you can import a CSV file. So for instance, this Minibase, I only gave it the name, the title, phone number, and an email. And it just organizes everything differently. Also, if you want to see another sample of the Minibase, this is another one, but it has more content, and it just gives you a page display, which you can change to page 2 or page 3. So in the future, I definitely recommend this for those of you that could use a Minibase for other reasons, or if you want to list a specific department staff, because right now the staff directory in schools only lists every single employee in that school. But it doesn't, you can't just filter it by maybe school psychologist or school admin. So this would be a great way if you just want to filter it by groups, or if you want to use a Minibase for other things. This is a great way of doing it. So this gets rid of all the tables, because tables, even though we do have that capability on your Flex editor, sometimes it's not very user friendly, and not a lot of people like working with tables. So sometimes it's a best option to just use a Minibase. So just keeping that in mind, that you can use that. And then since we're on that topic for the directory, that is something that I manually change every 2 weeks. I receive a file from IT with all those users, and all I do is I import that file onto the website, and it does a refresh, so it should display all of all of your staff directory. However, that list originally comes from Genesis, which is managed by, I believe, someone in your building, whether it's an admin or someone else in that building. They're the ones that import that data. So if there's a name that's wrong and you've seen it, and you haven't seen it change, because I just did my new update today, so you should see some changes there. But if you still continue to either not see yourself on that list, or there's someone that shouldn't be there, please make sure that you check on that Genesis list first, because like I said, that list goes to IT, and IT sends that to me, and I import that to the website. So it's nothing that we do manually through the website. It's just when I said manually, I meant literally I just upload a file that's given to me. So make sure that you check that. And then also moving on to the front page, notice how the district has banners, but they're not just banners anymore. They're actually, they take you to another page within the website, or sometimes even it could be anywhere. It could be to a YouTube video, to a podcast. I believe we have one, Discover Duval, can take you, oh, that one's the same thing. Okay. Some of them can take you to YouTube or to a different video. So to do that, I can definitely give you access to do that. So make sure that you request access. But for those of you that want to know why you would use it, it's literally, you could just have a banner, and then you could just, instead of just having maybe pictures of students, it could just be of events that are happening. So make sure that you know how to use that banner, and if you want to have titles for all of your banners, you can contact me and I can help you with that task. But it's very useful, and it's also important to keep that banner updated, because sometimes you may think that if you just leave a picture of your building or of an event that happened 6 months ago, that's just good enough, as long as it's not my sample pictures that I gave you at the beginning. But honestly, parents check your school site every day, and some of them ask, like, they compare it a lot with the district site. So make sure that you have, if there was a special event or if there was a library night, make sure that you upload those pictures and you keep that banner updated. And if you want to use it for a different purpose, like I said, if it's a clickable type banner where it actually takes you to another page, I can assist you with that too. But just so you know, they do check every day and they're finding information. Now, since we're on that note, I'm going to move back here to La Villa. So this is a great example. Welcome message. And I know we spoke about this at the beginning of our sessions. You want to make sure that you keep this very short and simple. I know this video hasn't changed in a while. We were working really focused on the district site there for a while, and now that it went live and we're doing audits, now we can come back and start auditing all the school sites, which means we can, potentially start changing the videos. But now that I've showed you how to change the video, feel free, if it's an event that you had from your school, you don't always have to have our videos. Those were just there so that they can occupy that spot so that it's not blank. But feel free to change that video, as often as you want. I've seen some schools at any event that they do, pretty much they have a new video. So I'll check that maybe sometimes weekly and there's a different one. So feel free to do that. Upcoming events, this is very important. Parents really identify with your school calendar, and that's really where they go to for information. I've received calls sometimes if they don't see a specific early release date. They do check the district site, but to make it easier on them, I would definitely recommend that any special event, if it's an early release, you can feel free to mimic that district site that we have right now to add more events. In the future, yes, we will try to somehow import those district events to your school calendar, but because there were some schools that already had a full calendar of events, we did not take that route. But feel free to add the same events that the district has, only because sometimes a parent will only check your site and not the district site. So they just expect to see everything there. Popular links, yes, they can get to our calendar here. School location map, that's another one. E-news, newsletters, careers, webmail, that's more for staff, grade portal. And then we recently added OnCourse. This is for teachers. That was a request because some of them wanted to know how to, with just one click, access their OnCourse page. So this is a new item that we added. Also, the different schools are listed here on the selected school dropdown. And then one more that I also wanted to show you is if you're on the district site, and again, with IE, for some reason you can't see the drop-down menu, but if you go to district lists, if people are looking to find the schools by region, you can always make sure that you point them to the district site for more information. So under Contact Us are all the lists that they can think of. Also, if there's specific forms that they're looking for, or that your school receives many calls about those forms, make sure that you add maybe a section called useful forms if it's parent related, and then you can also add them on your front page. But what you don't want to do, and this is actually a great example, but what you don't want to do is have an entire page here with information on how to do something, because this should only be space for an announcement or teacher of the year, something that will expire eventually. So you don't want to have the same information there for 6 months. You want to make sure that you change those often. If you don't want to change them often, then don't put a lot of information here. We will occupy that space. But just make sure that nothing is just static, that it's been like that for months. Make sure that all your information is current. Make sure that there's enough information that parents would look for. Like I said, if you're unsure of what to put under parents, I definitely recommend that you check out the district side, because we keep changing that frequently. With feedback that we receive from parents, we either add something or we just organize it better. So everything that they can possibly look for should be on every single one under these channels. Also, make sure that the font is similar throughout your entire site. We're looking for Verdana size 2. That's kind of what we're aiming for everything. And just to show you another school. So for instance, I believe, so okay, so again, calendar here, but let's just check one of our high schools. Okay, so this is a perfect example of what we would like to get shortened. So I think a paragraph is good enough. If you have a lot more information, that should probably go under About Us, vision and statement, or history, then that could definitely go there. But this is what I was aiming for. It's good they use them for announcements, but just keep in mind that most people do not scroll down. So only do a few maybe and then change those as often, or they're using the calendar, which is great. This is exactly what we want to the calendar for the calendar to be used. But make sure that if there's more, you can always put that under parents called maybe like news or news releases, and then you can have that app of that I showed you, which was the headlines and news app. That could go under parents or under students. So feel free to start moving some of that information, because you don't want to have all of this traffic on that front page, because what happens is they'll probably miss this great video that's under here that they were able to upload. So just make sure that you keep everything consistent. Not everything has to be on your front page. I mean, parents, you have up to 8 sections to create under parents, About Us. So notice how it's better if you just have more information throughout your entire website than if it's all displayed on your front page. We will continue to do audits throughout all of the school websites. That's what's taking place currently. Also, we've now have our user group, so that it's not just coming. Some of you may wonder, well, who did all those policies? Where can we find a manual on what not to do? We are actually currently working on that. We will have our user groups that will identify all the schools that maybe need some assistance, as well as to provide some feedback and to create those policies, so that there's schools or there are samples to look to, so that you can have more direction in terms of just basic expectations coming from the user group meetings. If you have any specific questions regarding our session that we learned today, this would be the perfect time to ask, and I will address those questions. If you have maybe specific questions that you do not want me to address during our session, feel free to send me an email. So I'll be waiting for the questions, and while I'm waiting, I also wanted to mention that we will try to meet bi-weekly. So for instance, next session, I will probably go through in detail about the Minibase app, just because some of those apps take longer than just going through the general overview. We're trying to meet bi-weekly just so that it'll give you some time to kind of work on your website, as well as to gather maybe enough people to register for our sessions. And all of these sessions, remember, are recorded and we upload them to YouTube. And my channel is here. So let me just, if I go here, playlists. So all these sessions are recorded and uploaded onto my YouTube channel. So for those of you, because I know that some of you have really busy schedules, maybe you're not able to attend the sessions, but you can definitely check out the YouTube videos, and that's pretty much what we did today. And usually it takes me about a day to post them. And I will try to keep you updated maybe on a weekly basis in terms of anything's changing or anything new that we're working on the website. And again, if you have any specific questions, feel free to send me an email. If you have maybe, if you want to have your own web session, maybe individual web sessions, I'm also up for those. But those are usually if you have a specific request, like for instance, if you're already working on the Minibase, but you just need that one-on-one assistance, you can schedule a web session with me. So we can do individual web sessions too. Group web sessions are usually for like the most overview of everything, but individual ones are a little bit more complex. If you're already maybe not in an advanced level, but if you want just help with an additional app. So we have a pic of our teacher of the year on the home page with an announcements app. I can just add another announcements app under that if I want another pic, right? Yes. So for instance, that was a very good point. So let's go back to, I believe it was La Villa. Let me just show you. So the announcements, just so you know, even though it works differently, it's basically the same thing as a Flex editor. So if I go here and I go to, let me select the school. Okay, so this works just like the Flex editor. So I'm going to go to announcements. And again, this is all done through your homepage. And when I click on their first announcement, that's what they had for Teacher of the Year. This looks just like your Flex editor, which means that yes, you can add a picture. However, I recommend that it's pretty much this size or smaller because it does take up a lot of space. And what you don't want is to have something like that other school that I just went through where they just have a list of everything there. But you can most definitely have pictures in your announcements, just as long as you keep those small. Or like I said, you can always do that news, that headlines and features app, which also allows you to add a picture. Any other questions? Okay, so if there aren't any other questions, again, just to kind of go through a quick overview, our expectations are that you welcome message doesn't really have to change, but do keep in mind that parents check your calendar events, so make sure that those are updated constantly or frequently. School shortcuts, you can have, this is great, but also remember that we have our district links. So maybe you'll get calls from parents asking for the strategic plan or for school grades. That was been one that recently we've gotten calls for. So school grades and everything else can be found under our district links, and these are provided by us. So you don't even have to worry about these, but feel free to add maybe the ones that are related to your school specifically. And other than that, feel free to send me an email. And if you would like to register, I will see you in our next Web Wednesday. Thank you for coming.